forgive me. I have been trying to get on with you guys for like 20 minutes. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Maybe we're getting too big. Maybe it's too many people trying to log on, but I was struggling. My camera just wouldn't connect for some reason. I'm so sorry. Thank you all so much for sticking around. Happy Juneteenth! How are you guys? If you're Black American, some noise. We's free. Hallelujah. And shout out to all my Black American kin in Galveston, Texas. This is actually Galveston, Texas is actually where Juneteenth began because unfortunately our people there did not know that they were that our people were free from enslavement. They found out about 2 years or so later. So that is why Juneteenth is celebrated. It was celebrated in Galveston since then, and it has now since become a federal holiday because of the great and lovely Miss Opal Lee, who was 100 years old. She wanted to make sure that she tried really, really hard and was successful in making Juneteenth a national holiday because Black Americans should be celebrated and our freedom should be celebrated. So here we are. Happy Juneteenth. Love on a Black American today. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, a Black American. Super Chat, a Black American today. Thank you all for being here. And also thank me, right? Because I had to sit through Kenzie and her terrible ebonics on Juneteenth. Let me tell you something. Love is love, right? Black people who date interracially, especially Black men, I don't care, right? Love who you love. My problem is, why don't you never check that white partner? Like, because Corbin, if we hear Kenzie, you hear Kenzie. Why do y'all let them do this? Is the white privilege that good? I've never dated a white person long enough to like tap into the privilege. So maybe that privilege is that good that y'all are just willing to embarrass yourselves like that. But watching Corbin and Kenzie, it's tough to do it every day. On Juneteenth, my tolerance was low. But let's have a good time again. Thank you all for stopping by and joining me. You could have stopped by anybody else's channel. You stopped by here. Love ya. And thank you for sticking with me through the technical difficulties because listen, guys, when I finally have my TV show, you know what we'll all say? Remember when? Remember when StreamYard locked you out of your account? But here we are. Oh, I always forget to introduce myself. I feel like everybody knows me, right? But hi, my name is Nikki.Star. I do comedic reviews of some of your favorite reality TV shows. Love Island is one of them. Love Island disclaimer, we're watching very young people who are being constantly manipulated on minimal sleep and probably not eating a lot because everybody in that villa is getting skinny. What is the diet? Because they are dropping weight quick. So give these kids grace. They're going through a lot. We probably wouldn't make those decisions now because a lot of us who are watching it are old. So we can look at them and judge them for those decisions, but you were probably making similar decisions at that age, or thinking about or have done it, and you were lucky enough to not have the world watching you make that dumb decision. So just give them grace and just be entertained. This show was fun. If you are watching it and it's not fun anymore, turn it off. You should not be hating anybody who is on this show or disliking a viewer of the show because you're fighting with people on whatever social medias about a reality TV show that's not that real and about people you will never meet and will never acknowledge your presence. This should be fun. If it's not fun, turn it off. Also, I do want to give grace to production. They lost their EP, guys. and they still had to continue. Um, I know that was difficult for them work wise, but oh my God, emotionally, relationally, so this season might look a little different because they had a lot going on. Give them grace. Let's just enjoy our Sims and thank that cast and crew for continuing on to entertain us, even though they are working through a very difficult time. Give them grace. Let's have some fun. Girth check. What the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing? I feel like producers are really starting to get involved um in the social media of it all and really start to listen to the fan base, and I want them to stop. Right, I need, it's too much, right? The entire episode jokes about Corbin being AI, jokes about Corbin being a robot. It's like now it's just, you're just stealing material, right? You're stealing material from people, not crediting them. Are you going to write the fan base's name on that Emmy when you get it for Love Island? If not, stop stealing their jokes. Stop stealing their jokes. And because we have picked up on how homoerotic Zach and Bryce are, now you guys are just, forcing it on us. And now it's just becoming uncomfortable, right? Before it was just like, did that happen? Did y'all see that? Nah, that did. And now it's just too much. Girth check. They're constantly laying on each other. It's just too much. Listen, I'm not in men's business, and I'm especially not in white people's business. I will say, I got to be honest with you, it's a little odd to me. But again, that's not my culture. That's not my culture. That's not my gender. They do stuff like that over there, right? Apparently. But I will say, as a viewer, I'm just like, are they on the wrong show? Because if this is supposed to be about Love Island, why are we watching two men fall in love? And I love the gays. Happy Pride, okay? I always say that this channel is for the girls and the gays, especially the Black ones, right? Shout out to the LGBTQ plus community. Nothing wrong with it. But these dudes are in couples with women. And the way that they are showing love and care and honesty to each other and not the women that they are in a coupling with, is starting to piss me off. I want Bryce to treat Trinity the way he treats Zach. Why am I saying that? Why am I seeing him treat someone better than the woman he's coupled up with? What is happening here? Casting. Stop listening to the fan base, because the fan base said no influencers, and y'all just got normal weirdos. And now we are here. Girth check was wild. That was wild. What are we doing? What are we doing? And thank God Trinity didn't see that. She would have lost it. She would have cussed Bryce out. My God, today. Anyway, moving right along. So it's confirmed. We got to bring him up. It's confirmed. Where you at? Bryce cannot kiss at 20 freaking 9. At 20 freaking 9. Jen hated kissing that guy. And this is not the first woman that has said this about his kisses. How do you I'm trying to imagine what it's like, because they all say it's teethy. They call them turtle tongue, and they say that those kisses are teethy. What is happening? I can't even fathom that. You need to take lessons from Sean. That cop know what he's doing, child. That cop knows what he's doing. So the elimination of Gabe made everybody in the villa really sad, because obviously Gabe, also known as Gabriel, had a really good relationship with everybody in the villa, but the women were feeling so beat up for sending home Gabe, but the guys felt nothing about sending home Soul. So the guys were really just just making them feel really, really bad. After, and here's the thing, after an elimination, everybody already feels bad. So I don't think the girls needed for the guys to add on to already feeling like garbage, right? So they all get up to go after, and we can hear the guys because they're mic'd up, and they're just, really dragging the girls. Because Ariana asked Jen how she feels, and she's just like, well, I've only known him for 2 days. That makes it worse. You only known that man for 2 days, and you were deep throating the hell out of him last night, girl. But she was just like, I'll talk to the girls and see what they, why they made that decision. But I respect them, and we were getting to know each other, and something was forming. But I'm interested to see what else, might come for me in this villa. And while she's saying that, the guys are like, no, the F she don't. She don't care nothing about him. Like, they are just really dragging this girl. Here's the thing. They were right, but right message, wrong messenger. Because you guys literally sent So home out of spite. Your decision was worse. The girls made a decision to send home Gabe because Caleb kept on getting cheated out of exploring. Corbin had something with Kenzie. Gabe was on his second girl. And they were just like, he keeps on, like, Gabe would be like that with anybody. You know what I mean? And I got to go with the women on this because they are experiencing him in the villa, not me, right? We're just watching him and in some little clips. If they are all saying that this man is lustful, if they are all saying that he's overly freaked out, if they are all coming to the conclusion that he may be a little too much, I'm going to take their word for it, right? None of them are saying that he's the bad guy, but, they're just like, we don't think that he's going to find love. We think that he's finding sex, and that's fine. But if this is supposed to be Love Island, we have to make a decision to send home somebody. We're going to send home the person who we think will never have a connection, and we want to give the guy who keeps on getting cheated out of a connection a chance. It's a tough decision any way around, but to beat them up when you literally made a decision to send home somebody because your boy wanted to get rid of her because now he don't need her anymore to make the woman that he wanted to make jealous. I'm going to go with how the girls decided to eliminate someone, not you doofuses. I could not believe that they were like talking down on the women and trying to make them feel so bad when they made a terrible decision. They made the wrong decision, not the women. I agree. Like, it's a tough decision. Somebody has to go home, but you guys sent So home for Sincere. She could have stayed. She could have explored. KC, he was sick that she was going, and he was even trying to fight to keep her. So there was somebody in there who wanted to explore her. So you can say the same for Gabe then. There was somebody in there for Gabe to explore who he was exploring. There was somebody in the villa for Soul to explore. You sent her home. So y'all did the same thing. So how are the women so worse off? So anyway, they all get up, and Zach goes, you guys won't be getting breakfast tomorrow. And Trinity was just like, now what's that for? Because what's the problem? And he was like, no, we don't like what you did. And Katie was just like, oh, no, I don't like what you guys are doing because that's not fair. So they all split up. The girls go over to sit on the couch and talk, and the guys go over and sit on the couch and talk. And the guys are just going in on them, like just tearing them all that. Even Casey, every last one of them except for Caleb. So they were dragging the girls, so Caleb and Corbin, they were dragging the girls so much that Zach had to look over at Caleb and be like, oh, no, we want you here. We just don't like the decision that they made. So you don't want them here. How do you say, no, we want you here? This is nothing against you. We just don't like the decision that they made. Well, you don't want him here because the decision that you wanted for them to make was for him to go. So what are you doing? And Caleb, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm praising a white man from the South. But he was on Juneteenth, but he was taking it all in stride. I was just so upset that the guys were making the girls feel bad and the girls are like kind of taking it. I need y'all to all stand like Trinity. I can't even. Kayla was giving a little bit, but she's so stigmatized by Zach. She's only doing but so much, and I'm just like, I need movie night because I need for Kayla to wake up. Um, in KC's confessional, KC goes, I am sad that Soul left because I did want to explore her. And I just really feel bad because I feel like, if I would have really fought for her, she would have still been here. A couple of lives ago, we were talking about how Anaya self sabotages. I don't agree with that anymore. I changed my mind. He's a self sabotager because I'm telling you, Casey and Anaya would have won this whole thing. And I hope Casey watches his back and realizes that the reason he didn't touch that 100K is because of him, or 50K is because of him. That a reason he won't have the opportunities that we would have gotten him is because of him. The black men that come on Love Island, USA, I'm sorry, I don't keep up with UK. I will. My sister is making me catch up this weekend. But the black men that come on Love Island USA, you guys are self sabotagers. Like, eh, we want to give you the money. Why do y'all mess it up for yourselves? KC, you look like a terrible person. You keep on reassuring that girl. She keeps on asking you if you want to explore. You tell her no, she's the only one that you want. And then you're telling the men that you want to explore her. Then you're in the confessional saying that you want to explore Soul. That's why none of the guys believe you, because you're telling them something totally different. And you're not telling her. And what's happening is her woman's intuition is letting her know that you're not being truthful, is letting her know that you're leading her on. But she likes you and she wants to be with you outside of this. So she's going to constantly try to convince herself that what you are saying to her is the truth. But her body knows, her spirit knows that you are lying to her. And it's so unfortunate because he could be a very likable guy, but it's this weird Jekyll and Hyde thing with him where he is really sweet in scenes with Anaya, right? Or with other women. But when he is in scenes with the men or in his confessional, he's a completely different person. And that person is unlikable. And it's so weird because it's just like you got that nice guy act down. But when you get in that confessional, when the camera keeps catching you, rolling your eyes and mumbling under your breath whenever you got to sit down with Anaya, but then tugging her down in that bed and then getting with the guys and talking about she better not want to argue with you or else what? What you gonna do? What you gonna do if she wants to argue? These little lightly veiled threats. Whoo! Oh, hold on 1 second, guys. Missed opportunity, my boy. You're not touching that money. Bitty bitty.
Hello?
Hey, I saw you call.
Yeah, but you're on live. It's fine.
Okay. If you need me, just text me.
What?
I said, if you need me, text me.
I do need you, but it's not a textable conversation. All right, bro.
All right, bro. Ciao. Anyway, what was I talking about? I was talking about KC. I'm disappointed, KC. I'm so disappointed. And now that I get to see more of him, I'm like, that speech. Because the more and more I get to see of him, my personal opinion is that speech that you gave her, I don't want to believe that it's pandering. But it's just like, what's happening here with you? Like, why would you say those things to her and constantly affirm her beauty and how you love her dark skin? But then when you get with the guys, you act like you don't like her, and you're fawning over a woman that is the complete opposite of her. Now, Soul is black, right? So I'm not saying that that's a problem, but it's something ain't adding up. Something ain't adding up, and I feel like I know what it is, but I don't want you to be that guy. And now I'm starting to act like Anaya because my woman's intuition is telling me something, but I don't want to accept it because I want you to be a better person. We'll see. We will see. So let me bring up Little Miss Soul. I actually liked her the comments that she made to the cast uh, when she left. I hope Soul makes it to Love Island games. I like her. I like her. I'm not liking her to the point where it's getting very obsessive with some of the people in the fan base, which is just very weird because I don't really think you like her. I just think you want her to win over Anaya. And that's just colorism. We got to tell the truth and shame the devil. I'm not, beating around the bush with that nonsense, especially not on Juneteenth, because there's no reason for you to have so many issues with Anaya and then you're feeling like she's the reason why Soul didn't have the experience that she should have had. And you guys are some, not all, but they were just like, oh my God, Soul, she got the short end of the stick, and I feel so bad for her, and she was bullied, and the girls were. I feel like the people who are magnifying Soul's experience, to me, it's just giving colorism because there's no other reason other than the fact that you don't like Anaya and you want this woman to win over her. And I think that's unfortunate for Soul because I don't even think that she feels that way. And I think it's some like demonic entity that hovers this fan base. And it's given the whole Huda situation where y'all started to like Huda because you didn't like Shelly. And that's a terrible thing to do as like women. You know what I mean? It's just like you want this woman to win to spite somebody else. For what? For to spite another woman. And these two are probably cool. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me in my opinion. But I do like Soul. I would like to see her on Love Island games. I liked her parting words. She was just like, listen, other bombshells are coming in. You guys need to be nice. You guys need to be open. You guys need to be receptive because everybody was coupled up. And because of that, I felt isolated. I felt like I could not really have the full experience because you guys were all, married by the time I got here. So when more bombshells come in, please be receptive. And then she walked down and she was like, they didn't deserve me because I'm a baddie. I like her. And what I also like is that she got her spark back when she left the villa. I do think it's so like unfortunate that she had such a terrible time. Like when she said, put me out of my misery, I was like, oh, that girl did not want to be there at all. So I'm interested to see how she works in Beyond the Villa because she just did not enjoy this cast. But I do hope that we see her not only in Beyond the Villa, but I would like to see her in Love Island games as well. Goodbye, Soul. I thought we were going to see you in Casa. The way they were making it seem like we were going to see her and Gabe again. I felt bad for Gabe too. But listen, somebody got to go home. Somebody got to go home. So we go back to Zach calls himself checking the girls, and Trinity gets Zach together. Here's the thing. I want Bryce away from Trinity immediately because this is now his second macro aggression towards her. The first macro aggression was when him and Trinity had a disagreement. He ran to Zach and said that him and Trinity had an argument. There was no argument. Y'all just disagreed. Nobody raised their voice. She said, I'm not effing with that. That's it. Then he runs back to Zach and says that he had an argument with Trinity. Then, when Trinity confronts Zach, because Zach is talking crazy to the women, she confronts him and she's just like, that's not fair. Like, we had to make a tough decision. Everybody did. Why are you guys mad at us? Like, that's not fair for you guys to treat us like that. So, her standing up for herself to somebody who came at her, to a man that came at her, and you, as a man, as her man, did not even step in and tell him to chill. He was disrespecting your girl. You let him disrespect your girl because you felt the same way. And you wanted to disrespect her. So when she starts piping back at the guy that is disrespecting her, instead of stepping in front of that guy's face and telling him to chill, you look at her and say, oh, stop being confrontational. I want him away from her. She needs a bombshell. Bryce keeps on talking about her type. Please send her type into the villa. I want him away from her. She is such a light. She is such a joy to watch. And that man is breaking her spirit because Bryce does not like Trinity how she is. He wants to bend and break her and mold her into a woman he will feel comfortable around. And I don't like that. I do not like that. He is constantly chastising her. For what? For what? You're in a homoerotic relationship and you can't kiss. She has made enough sacrifices. I want her coupled up with a bombshell. That is her type. It's time. It's time. But that is the second macroaggression, and I do not like it. I do not like it. I don't like how he treats her, and it is time for our girl to move on. And I also, the men being the morality police, I can't believe the girls let them get away with that. I would have been like, Sincere, shut up. Sincere's like, oh, it wasn't fair what you did. Excuse me, Captain Liar. You make the devil blush with how much you lie. I wanted those girls to read them men for filth. None of the men had any right to look at them and tear them down. And then first of all, the women had to go over to them. The guys were not even going to come over them to try to like fix anything. They walk over, Sincere goes, oh, here they come. Here they come. Don't let them rage bait you. I want all of the girls to go off at Casa. I want them all to bring back bombshells. I'm tired. What do you mean? Don't let them rage bait. Sincere, you've been rage baiting since you stepped in that damn villa. You are the rage baiter. What are you talking about? I do not understand how they had the audacity to be that upset with them about eliminating Gabe when they eliminated Soul. Like, you sent Soul home too for the same reasons. How are y'all better? And I'm just even more frustrated that the girls didn't catch up on it. Kate was just like, oh, he's getting on my nerves. And Trinity was the only one who was really like, no, this disrespect is ridiculous. We have to do something about it. But the girls really didn't like rise to the occasion. So Trinity just calmed herself down. I wish there were women like PPG in the villa with Trinity. Because I feel like not only that she has to bend, like she's bending and molding herself into being something acceptable for Bryce, I feel like she got to do it with the girls too. Because the girl's not going to do nothing. So she's like on an island by herself. So it's a lot of stuff she got to eat. And I hate that for her. I wish PPG or a version of PPG was there. Now listen, I love the Core 4. I love our Brat Styles, but they are just too male-centered. Not too male-centered. They're male-centered in general. Gross. Oh, and then the guys are just like, oh, we could have made the same decision that you guys said. Since Gabe was so lustful, we could have made the same decision and, sent home Kenzie. You should have, you idiots. You should have. But no, we didn't want to send Kitty home. We sent Soul home. Why'd you send her home? Because Cecilia didn't want her in the villa. It had nothing to do about Love Island. It had to do about you doing what your boy wanted you to do. So how are you the morality police? And I can't believe they let them get away with it. I wish the women stood with Trinity. So anyway, after this whole confrontation, they, kiss and make up, and Kenzie and Corbin go talk, and Corbin is just like, don't, promise you won't go back and tell nobody, yo. But the guys, they be saying that you just as lustful as gay. And Kenzie was just like, lustful? I'm not lustful at all. Sweetie, you knew Corbin for all of 48 hours and he was playing in your labia. The first day we met you and every day after that, you were telling the audience and your castmates that you're beyond time due for good creaming. You're lustful, mama. And if those lustful men is picking up on that, you are overly freaked out. You are absolutely lustful. She was just so taken aback by that. And she was also taken aback by not being safe. She was just like, why America be doing us like that, yo? What they be doing that for? Nobody in Atlanta talks like that. No black person in Atlanta talks like that. Where are you and Corbin getting the what are you and Corbin watching? Because now, as a black American, and maybe it's because it's Juneteenth, I'm starting to feel offended. It's giving hate crime. It's giving hate crime. Because what is this language? What is this? Why America be doing that to us for? Huh? Oh, they're babies. They're babies, Nikki. They just got here. They fresh on this earth. They fresh on this earth. Why America be doing us like that for? It don't even make sense. It don't even make sense. Woo, Lord, 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 Lord. But yeah, she was real shocked that she was in the bottom and that she wasn't safe. But the thing about it is she's doing the same thing that Huda is doing, because now Kenzie thinks that America sees something in Corbin. That they're trying to protect her and show her that he isn't the one. No, girl, it's you. America would have kept Corbin. He's going home because he's connected to you. It is you, girl. But just like Huda could not fathom that America had an issue with her and not Jeremiah. She couldn't fathom. Same thing with Kenzie. They are the same thing. The same dangerous woman from the caucus. Mm, 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 mm. I talked about this a little bit. I also wanted to touch on this with Zach and Bryce. I do feel like production is absolutely tapping into, what we're saying about the show, but at this point now it's teasing, right? And I'm like, don't tease us anymore, right? Because at some point it's just going to start getting disrespectful. Because if you're not going to show Bryce or Zach doing a bending, then stop showing us, Zach stretching out Bryce. If he's not inserting, keep it off our screens. Because what are we doing at this point? Why are y'all showing us this if we're not going to get the gusto? If we're getting Jen, Deep Throat, and Gabe, let's see Zach put that tongue to some good use and see how Turtle Tongue feels about it. Because what are we doing? What are we doing? Teasing the gays? Knowing good and well y'all will never give them a love story or a lust story on this show that they can relate to. So they got to deal with these crumbs from these dusty men? Absolutely not. Not doing Pride. So either show them doing the bending or keep it off our screen, because it's too much at this point. And now it's starting to feel like a different kind of hate crime. So what we doing, Love Island? What are we doing? Keep it cute. Keep it mute. Casey's do-rag is slipping. His confessionals were nasty. Nasty this episode. And I'm like, is this you? Is this who you are? Oh, I hope not. Oh God, I just don't want it. I don't want it to be true. But I hope who we are seeing in these confessionals is not him. I hope that when we saw that conversation with him and Corbin, we called Anaya grandma. I hope that's not him. But I feel like that person only comes out when he doesn't know that he's being watched. And there's a guy on TikTok, a brother that does Love Island reviews. And from day one, he was like, Casey's a panderer. He was like, Casey's a panderer. He is doing all of that stuff and saying all that stuff to Anaya because he just wants to sell his Black Women Are the Greatest t-shirts, his merchandise. That's why he's doing it. And you know what? He's starting to make sense. He's starting to make sense, Casey. Prove him wrong, but I don't know, brother. I don't know. I'm concerned, young man. I am concerned. Caleb. Let's talk about Caleb. Where is Young Gunna? I think that Casey is styling him. Because Caleb will look. Oh, I was going to say thank you, ancestors, for holding my tongue. I was about to say something, but Harriet Tubman said absolutely not. Anyway, I feel like Casey is styling him. And I feel like Casey is styling a lot of the guys in the villa because they're all starting to dress like him. So, and I felt like that was happening also last season with Ace. You could absolutely tell that he was styling Nick. But I think that Casey is starting to style him. But Caleb got his second wind this episode. Like, he was flirting with everybody. Like, I don't know why the show does not show us his relationship with Anaya, because they are obviously really, really close. Because Anaya, when they were all getting in bed, Anaya came to basically, give him a hug and tell him good night. And that's like, for her to do that, they have some kind of relationship. I don't know if it's like brotherly or sisterly, but it doesn't seem like it's on his end, because when she hugged him, he was just like, you smell nice. And she was like, whoa, Caleb. He was like, I got to get started. I got to make her rounds. I got to make it count. So he has gotten his second win. Kenzie don't want him, so he's going on a tear, and he has now set his sights on Kada. And Zach was joking about him like going after her, but I think this episode he absolutely regretted it, because Caleb stepped up, baby. He said, I am not going home. Here's the thing. I'm not going to say this on Juneteenth. I will absolutely say this on Sunday for the future. If he decides to go for any other melanated women in the villa, amen and amen. Because Anaya deserves to be pursued by somebody that really likes her. And if it happens to be a caucus, I'll take it. I will take it. So there is this conversation that happens later in the episode with Gabe and Zach, and it's just them gaming. Casey is such a fool. He is such a fool. So Gabe and Zach are sitting together and they are basically talking about KC and how KC is talking about that him and Anaya are one of the strongest couples in the villa. And they're like, yeah, absolutely not. Right. And then they start talking about why they don't think that Casey and Anaya are the strongest couple because of all of their issues and how Casey is oblivious to the fact that him and Anaya has a lot of problems. And then they try to show this conversation as a conversation about concern for Anaya. But I can see exactly what these two are doing. They're gaming, right? And they're trying to game the audience. So not only are they putting doubt in Casey's mind and Anaya's mind about each other, they're also sowing seeds of doubt to the audience. And then they're trying to be slick and position it as, we just care about Anaya. No, y'all don't. You're gaming. And I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at it. And they're gaming really hard against KC because they know that at least at one point he was a strong contender. So they're doing the same thing that Ace was doing last season. Like Zach is building his top three couples, and his top three couples are him and whoever, Bryce and whoever, because Lord knows he doesn't want it to be Trinity. And who was the other person? I think it was just that. I thought there was a third person. It wasn't Gabe. It's not Caleb. It's not Corbin and Kinsey. Yeah, I think it's just them. I think they are working together to make sure that they both make it to the end. And I think they will. I think they will because Casa is coming up. And with these two gaming the way they're gaming, I can honestly see Zach and Bryce Sincere and Melanie. I don't think that they want Sincere and Melanie to be in the end. I think they have just come to the conclusion that they will, but they both feel like they have a better chance of beating them. So they're okay with that. But what I do believe is that come Casa, those two are going to make sure that KC slips up. And I think they're going to try to get in Sincere's head, but Sincere is also playing the game as well. And they are on to him as well. But because Sincere is aware, they don't want to even bother with that because they don't want him to know that they know that he's playing the game. Because Sincere will turn it up a notch because he's playing the game very well. And they realize that because he keeps on being voted to stay. He keeps on getting saved, not saved, but he keeps on ending up in the top vote when it comes to America. So they know who he is. They know the same thing about KC, but KC is so influential. KC lacks discernment. KC is just not wise. So they know that they can get him out of the game. So they will stay on top of him because he is so influential. He positions himself as a leader, but he looks like and acts like a follower. So he's going to be somebody really easy to get out, but he's charming and he's handsome and he's well liked. And Anaya is very well liked, and they know that. So they are gaming him heavy, and it's working. It's absolutely working. And you know what? Nobody's fault but KC. You could have won this, young man. You could have won this. Let's get into the Prince and Princess challenge. This challenge had too much going on. Please don't ever do this. And I think they're doing it because of Anaya. Let me tell you something. Her mother don't play about her. I just thought about her mother. Her mother don't play about her. Everybody was trying to come at this young lady for being a Black American princess. Her mom put out a video to let y'all know who she was from jump. She never worried for anything. She let y'all know my baby, her feet never had to touch the ground. Stay mad. Stay mad. She was a child. We bought her a Range Rover because we can. Stay mad, right? She does not let y'all play on her baby's top. And I love that for her. I love that for her because so many people hate that young lady is a Black American princess. So there was one commenter in my comments who went searching for Anaya's father and his salary and was just like, she didn't grow up rich. She didn't grow up rich or well taken care of because I saw her dad's salary. He's no longer playing in the NBA. That was so long ago. I don't even think she was born. Like, that does not mean that he doesn't have money. And why are we banking on her father being the rich one? You see her mother? It seemed like the mother was the pedigree. Okay? It seemed like the mother was a Black American princess who birthed another Black American princess. But I just thought about that. Shout out to her because she is not letting them people play about her baby. Absolutely not. She said we're well off. We've been well off. She's okay. But I also want to bring that up because I think that's what's happening with Anaya and Casey. Right? People are like, oh my God, Casey doesn't like Anaya and Anaya is insecure. The problem is, and this happens all of the time in the Black community, these relationships form, but they never work out. And it's so sad because had it not been for ego, a lot of these relationships could be very successful. What is happening is we have a Black American princess and a Black man from who does not come from privilege, right? And often what happens with Black men who do not come from privilege, who get with Black women who do come from privilege, there is a jealousy and disdain there that builds, right? And it starts to look like disinterest and resentment. And so what happens is the Black man who does not have that privilege or come from the privileges that that the Black American princess comes from, he starts to treat her in a way that makes her feel unsure, insecure, less than, and then starts to prop up another woman to make her compete. Because he has not checked that ego of feeling like he can't amount up to what this Black American princess has or is used to, he overlooks the fact that she doesn't care about that. She just likes you, right? She wants to be with you. She does not care that you don't have what she has, but that guy does. And I'm just using my people because we're talking about my people right now, but this just happens with well-to-do women who date men who are not well-to-do. It's envy that just rages in them because them being a man and not having what the woman has for some reason just makes them, not for some reason, the patriarchy makes them feel less than. And what happens in this relationship is that now the girl is trying to prove to him that although that these things don't matter, you matter. So she's constantly chasing the guy now, constantly enduring his mistreatment because now she feels bad for having it all. And she was just born into it, or she was just treated like that her whole life. Now she feels bad for having those things and starts to resent having those things because she feels like that is making you feel this way, but she likes you so much and she wants you to know how much she cares for you and look beyond that she'll stick around, right? She'll stick around for the humiliation. She'll stick around for the mistreatment. She'll start to compete with that other girl because she now feels bad for having, and she feels like you feel less than because you're a have not, and you feel that way because of what she did. So now you're in her mind. She feels bad. Now she starts to feel less than. You done projected your nonsense on her. Now she's feeling that way. So now she's sad. She's depressed. She's insecure. She's trying to compete with these girls. But woe unto you when she wakes up and realizes who she is. When she remembers who she is and that she don't need to be over there slumming it. Woe unto you when she finally figures it out. But it happens often. I've seen it happen. And often the well-to-do women, especially Black women, the guilt trip that they put themselves through for being a black person, for being a black woman who loves this black man, who has had a good upbringing, the guilt trip that they put themselves through. And that's why they will endure so much nonsense for that man, because he makes them, that man will make them feel bad for just having it all. Instead of being wise enough, getting with this woman who loves you so much that not only will she invite you into her community, she'll make sure that you can eat. She'll make sure that you'll be able to be that dad to raise a black American princess. But for some reason, that ego gets the best of them, and they end up ruining what could be a really good relationship if he just checked his ego. And I see that happening here. And it happened when that girl led that her dad played in the NBA. That's where it was. That's exactly where it was, because immediately he knew. He knew. And that's probably also something that she leads with, because that's the environment that she's in. And also, it probably gives her privileges using that. And that's why I kind of want to fight for this relationship, because it could work. It really, really could work if he checked his ego, and if she didn't stick around for so much of the nonsense. You know what I mean? Like, she got to put her foot down and he got to check that ego, because those relationships could work, but those two things need to happen. And I don't know if they're going to get it in time, unfortunately. But I said all that to say her mother don't play about her. Anaya's mother does not play about her. And before she was saying Kanaya, she's not saying that no more. She wants her daughter. She posted that she wants her daughter to get a bombshell. She's over it. She was really rooting for Anaya and KC up to yesterday. I said, Dad, you done messed up with the mother. You're done. You are done. But anyway, this Prince and Princess challenge, it was absolutely done because Anaya is the Black American princess. But it was just too much going on. It was too many rules. Ian was explaining the rules for like 10 minutes. I still don't know what this was about. All I know that it was a chance for everybody to be messy and say how they really feel about people and disguise it under a challenge. And Bryce and Zach gamed for Casey hard, and Casey still didn't catch it. Zach literally said, I'm picking this guy. No, Bryce literally said, I'm picking this guy because he's not honest. He's not being genuine in his relationship, and he wants something else, but he's not saying it. And Anaya's like, huh? And then after the challenge, Bryce tells Casey why he did. He's just like, oh, man, really? This is a game show, Casey. When the hell are you going to clock in? This is a game show. And instead of clocking the fact that those two dudes are gaming you, you get mad at Anaya. If she feels some sort of way about that challenge, man, I don't feel like it. How are you mad at her? Because the guys are saying that you don't really want her like you're telling her, and that's why they see you as untrustworthy. How did you get mad at Anaya? And I hate that she's always like, how did this get turned around on me? And that's what happens all the time. Hello, fences. You go through out there, you having these issues with the guys, and instead of taking it out on the guys, you take it out on Anaya. Bryce was the one who said it. How are you mad at Anaya? And you don't even know if she feels some way, but you're already mad, anticipating her feeling some way about what Bryce said about you in a challenge. She needs a bombshell. Immediately. But it's just so sad to watch, because Bryce and Zach are absolutely sabotaging Casey, and Casey has still yet to catch it. Caleb locked in during this challenge, went right after Kata, and I know that Zach absolutely regretted jokingly saying, oh, you should try to pull Kata for a chat. He pulled Kata for more than a chat, and I think she liked it. Good for her. I don't want to talk about this, but it was in the episode. Bryce licking Trinity's leg while making eye contact. Zach licking Trinity's leg while making eye contact with Bryce. Not my culture, not my business. Weird though. Very, 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 very weird. And after this challenge, of course, Anaya is questioning KC again because the guy is telling her one thing, and then everybody in the villa is telling her something else. So of course she's questioning the guy because he's a liar, like Sincere. And I think because KC is a little slicker about his lies, and because he's always laughing and he's presumed to be fun and goofy, it's hard to catch in the beginning how similar him and Sincere are. They are the same, the smooth operators, child. They are smooth operators. But what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And also back to Casey and how he's not clocking that Bryce and Zach are targeting him. And listen, I get that I've come to this conclusion because we the audience have more information than KC, but it's just like they are constantly doing this to you in challenges and to your face. When you were sitting in that mirror, fixing your chain, getting ready, and said that you and Anaya are really in a good place and what y'all got going on, you're really happy with what y'all got going on. Bryce said, look me in the eye and tell me that. Just want to make sure. They're constantly making these comments and they're constantly picking you in the challenges. Again, yes, I am privy to information that he doesn't have, but my God, today, how can you not see this at this point, Casey? How can you not see it? They're doing it to your face. I am just utterly gagged that he does not see what's happening. And you knew, and that's another thing, you knew that Anaya was going to feel some sort of way about the comment that Bryce made. You never checked Bryce, but yet you got to alt with Anaya. I don't get that, dude. It's so clear as day what's going on here, but he cannot catch it. You literally told those guys that you wanted to keep Soul because you wanted to explore her. You don't think that's going to get back to Anaya? It's like I don't get it. It's like no discernment, no common sense. It's so weird. It's so weird. I just feel like at some point you got to pick up that they're sabotaging you. And maybe it's going to happen at movie night, but I feel like the show could lay it out flat for him. He still won't get it. He still won't get it. It's like he has zero discernment. Anyway, so Trinity and Bryce are now having a conversation about Anaya. Bryce asked Trinity how he thinks Anaya feels, and Trinity is just like, well, because he's asking her how she feels about Anaya. Like, one thing that Zach and Bryce do very well is fake concern for Anaya. When it's literally just planting seeds of doubt in the rest of the villa, especially with the girls, to get to her. So Bryce is talking to Trinity about Anaya because he knows it's going to get back to Anaya because he knows that they're good Judies, right? So he's telling her what Sincere is saying and doing, not because he cares for Anaya, but he knows that Trinity is going to take it back to Anaya, and Anaya is going to start having some insecurities because she already, and not about herself, about her relationship, because her gut is already telling her that this guy is a liar. So then you had your good girlfriend who was talking to her man who talks to Casey, telling you and confirming what you're already feeling. That is absolutely going to make her pull away from a coupling that was perceived to be very strong in the villa, and at some point very strong with the audience, right? So he's gaming his own partner. And I feel like my girl Trinity is very smart. So maybe she's playing the game and we don't know. And she's not showing us her hand. I hope so, because I'm just like, she did exactly what he wanted her to do. And I just really, really hate that for Trinity, because Bryce doesn't like her. Bryce doesn't want her. When he gets the opportunity, he will absolutely play her. And I hope it doesn't get her sent home. Anyway, so Trinity, she starts to tell him that, well, it's really harder for dark skinned black women to date. So, she probably has those insecurities there already and not really wanting to trust him off grip because of the issue she has as a darker skinned black woman dating. Now, I have nothing against Trinity. If anything, that's my winner. I will say the conversation around Anaya are very weird to me, because we have yet to hear her say that she's insecure about being dark skinned, but everybody is making her dark skin an obstacle. And it's so weird to me because we haven't heard her say that about herself. It's like, I feel like, how this is for the big girls. You know how when you say, "Oh gosh, I'm really struggling." For those of you who want to lose weight, um, for those of us who want to lose weight, you know how you're just like, "Oh God, I can't wait to see what I look like after I drop 30 pounds," right? And then somebody says to you, "Oh, girl, who cares about the 30 pounds? You're pretty, but you're pretty." And you're like, hold on, I never said I was ugly. I just, what I mean? Like, I said I was big and I just wanted to lose some weight. I never said I was ugly. Like, what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but it's just like, I just said that I wanted to lose some weight. Why are we trying to clock my face? I never said nothing about my looks. I never said nothing about my face. I was talking about my fupa. I was talking about my thighs. I said nothing about my face. And I feel like that's happening with Anaya. Like, Anaya is insecure because this guy is about her relationship, because this guy is lying to her. And everybody's just like, oh yeah, she's acting like that because she's dark. Has she said that to y'all? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I'm like, has she said that? Because some of the fan base is picking that up too. They're like, yes, the dark skin, the dark skinned black girls, they're real insecure because they don't think that a guy like that would like her. I gotta tell y'all something. Those conversations pissed me square off. Because as an OG, as a daughter who was kissed by the son multiple times, that ain't never been my experience. And I feel like I have to say that often, because everybody keeps on trying to put this like narrative on dark-skinned black women that they're not chosen. Where I'm from, now maybe where you're from, we're not the standard. But where I'm from, I'm chosen. Often. Like, never thought I could never get a guy. If anything, it was too easy. If anything, I like to take breaks because it's too much. See, beating them off you. My God, today. My God, today. At some point, when I got to get myself together to go outside, I'm like, oh Lord, how many men are going to approach me today? I don't feel like being seen. I love being a woman, but it's I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening here. And listen, colorism absolutely exists. I don't play with that, right? I will say I fight for equality within my community, not just with colorism, with homophobia, um, with classism, because I hate it, and it's such a stain on the Black American community to be these people who have come from such a horrible genocide, right? To get here to this point as a community and have the nerve to be colorist. You don't like those people? You don't like people in your community because they look far removed from whiteness as the descendants of enslaved Africans by those same people? So if I looked like I was close in kinship or in DNA to our shared oppressor, you would like me more. That's sick to me. That's sick to me. I feel the same way about classism and elitism. What you mean you're a Black American that's a capitalist? We were the capital at one point, you idiot. We were considered cattle. What do you mean you're a capitalist? What do you mean you're an elitist? What do you mean you're looking down on Black people who make it who have to live in poverty? What are you doing as a Black American? So stuff like that makes me sick to my stomach. Same thing with homophobia. How dare you throw any Black American away after everything we did as a people to get to where we, how dare you throw any Black American away because of something that you believed from a religion that was forced upon us? Are you kidding me? I hate Black Americans like that. Hate. So I fight for all of those things because it's such a stain on my community and it's so embarrassing. So I fight against all of that. But make no mistake, when I'm fighting about colorism, I'm not fighting because that is my experience. I'm fighting for it because it's right. I'm fighting for it because I want young Black girls who look like me to have the experience that I had. I want that to be the norm. And for some reason, I feel like everybody thinks that dark-skinned Black women are like not the standard or not chosen. And I'm just like, y'all got to get off the internet. Y'all got to stop listening to them white supremacist rappers who will say and do anything for $1. Y'all have to stop listening to these people who are feeding you lies and go out in your community and touch grass. I don't know if Anaya is saying this, but from what I'm getting from her community, that was not her struggle. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. So I'm not going to sit up there as well and be like, oh, it doesn't happen for me. So it means it doesn't exist. Absolutely not. I've seen it play out. I've seen darker skinned Black women who don't look like me be treated a certain way. I've seen it and I've addressed it. You're not doing that in front of me. So I'm not going to say that doesn't exist, but I have to be honest. That is not the experience of every dark-skinned Black woman. And I just feel like everybody in this villa is just like, oh my goodness, your skin is so beautiful. Dark-skinned women deserve to live. What are y'all talking about? Like, is Anaya saying this? Because I feel like if she did, the show would show us. But if she's not saying this and everybody is putting this on her, what's going on? Is it a generational thing? Is that what's happening here? Gen Z, what's going on? Is colorism really that bad with y'all? Like, are none of you beautiful dark skinned black women having a good time existing in this great skin? What is happening? And I'm so glad that Trinity brought it up. I really do like that Trinity is the reality of the show, right? And she's teaching Bryce, which is why I cannot interracial date. If I got to teach my partner about how to see me, get the hell out of here. But, you know, it works for some people. But I really love that. But I'm just like, here we have, and if Trinity would have said it, it would have been a one-off, I would have been fine. But I'm like, we keep on coming here with Anaya being insecure because of her dark skin, but we've never heard Anaya say it. So I'm like, are people assuming that because she's dark skinned, she's having a hard time? And if so, what did this? Why is this such a big narrative? Because I do know that this happens, but I felt like that was a conversation and an experience that normally happens with black girls in general who grow up in like white communities or non-black communities. Maybe it's because Philly's just really dark. I don't know. Y'all talk to me in the chat. I am just like, is Anaya saying this? If she is, okay, it makes sense. If not, and everybody's just assuming that she's having is that what y'all think about dark-skinned black women? Do I got to get up here and share some hotels? Do I have to let y'all know about my roster? Because if we need a little conversation about how the men let me know who I am every day, we can do that. Do I gotta break the narrative? Oh my God. Is she saying this? I cannot wait for that reunion. Somebody tell. And also, she the same complexion as Trinity. Oh Lord, what's going on with the kids? What is going on with the kids? What's going on in that villa? Anyway, he's out the next vote. I can't take it. He's so sassy. So, like, he's been the last few episodes. Have you noticed how he has been checking Kata? Like, just chastising her. Bryce is doing the same thing to Trinity. What is going on? See, here's the thing. I'm not saying that these men are DL. It's DL shaped. It's DL shaped, right? Because you're prioritizing this male friend over the woman that you're in a relationship with. Hella sassy with women. He was the main one leading that back and forth with the girls against the guys after that vote. And then he's like picking at Kata, finding problems with her out of nowhere. So they're sitting down talking, and every time she's talking to him, she's complimenting him. She's affirming him. He's critiquing her, chastising her, talking about, oh, you were just really into Caleb. You were telling him all of these things that you wanted him to do to you. And she's like, what are you talking about? She doesn't even know what he's talking about. She can't even recollect. But he can recollect everything that she does wrong. And you just see him breaking her spirit. Listen, Love Island casting. Next season, give us all lover boys. Put Nick in a casting room. We need all lover boys. We need some Nick Van Steenburgers. It's the burger. Whatever his name is. Nick Vans. We need some more Nick Vans. We need some Barack Obamas. Okay? We need a man that will love on a woman so much he will build a museum for her and dedicate it to her mama. My God, today. We need lover boys. I'm tired of these sassy men that don't like women, prefer relationships with men, and when it's time to get the girls together, he's ready to go toe to toe with a woman. I'm sick of that. Get them out. These boys don't like women, and we just have to be honest about that. Get them out of here. Get some men on this show that like women. Get us some lover boys, please. I am tired of this. All he did the whole episode was just fight with women. What the hell is that? You just a bet you a grown man getting the back and forth with a woman. Weird, very very weird. I want him, the next vote. Oh my god, Kinsey too. It's too many people we got to get out of there. Can we do like a mass dumping Love Island? It's too many people we got to get out, and we don't have enough time. It's too many people we have to get out that villa. I will say this. I love the fact, because Zach was breaking Kayla's spirit. I love the fact that Caleb came over and was just like, can I pull you for a chat? And she was like, yes, please. I'm glad, because in that moment, while Zach was breaking her spirit, Caleb came over and affirmed her. And she ended the conversation with, oh no, I'm open. I'm very open. I hope that she continues to entertain Caleb. I don't like how he treats her. I do not like how Zach treats her. I want her to move on from that. Her and Trinity. Speaking of Trinity, I like that she keeps it real, right? Like I said before, I like that she's the voice of reason of the show. She sits down with Anaya, and they're talking. They're both love them to death. Two delusional brat styles are talking about their guys and their relationships and how happy they are with their guy. And Trinity's gushing over Bryce, and then Anaya starts gushing over Casey. And Casey was just like, listen, you my Trinity was just like, listen, you my girl, right? So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give it to you straight, because you my girl, right? She's like, let me just give you the tea. Casey is basically not who you think he is. Because Anaya's just like, I like him. I like where we are. Like, I can really see myself being with him after this. And Trinity is listening to her friend, and she's just like, yeah, he's not it. He's not it. Because he's telling Bryce something totally different. He told the guys that he wanted to save Soul so that he could pursue her. And Anaya's just like, why would he say that? Because he's telling me something totally different. He's telling me I'm the one, that he doesn't want to pursue that he wants to pursue me. That he shut that down. And hello, even KC said it. He said, I wish I wouldn't have shut Soul down, because I did want to pursue. So that's not Anaya's fault. You made the decision to not pursue Soul. Anaya didn't do that to you. Anaya didn't make you give her that black woman power speech. Anaya didn't make you write that letter. Why didn't you write a letter to Soul? Like, it's not Anaya's fault that you are not having the experience that you want to have in Love Island. I guarantee you, if she was playing with his serpent like Jen, he would have no problem. He doesn't like the fact that this girl is moving at a realistic pace. Hello, black man. Hello, Malcolm X. How do you not know that sister can move like that, especially on national TV? How you don't know that? That's what it's just like. It's given like performative hotep. Like you act like you're so down, but then you miss such important nuances within the culture. And that confuses me. That's why it's coming off performative. because you're mad that this dark-skinned black woman is taking it slow. How do you not know why she's doing that or why she's going at the pace that she's going? And how are you not affirming her for that? That's why it's coming up as performative. Because how do you not know these things? You're calling her a grandma. But if she moved at the pace that Jen had moved at, you know that she would be feeding into the Jezebel stereotype, right? Now, if you don't know that, y'all got to get off that internet and sit at the feet of your elders, because this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Anyway, Casa is Sunday. He's going to act a fool. He's going to go beast mode, right? And he's going to go beast mode because, one, he wants to, but two, Bryce and Zach are absolutely going to be on both sides of him, encouraging all of his debauchery. I hate this for Anaya. I hope that, she misses an opportunity. I hope that she doesn't miss an opportunity to bring back a bombshell and leaves herself in a really bad situation, because we're going to see his nonsense come movie night. And it's going to be really, really tough to watch for her. I think he'll be fine. It's going to be really, really tough for her to watch. And I feel really bad for that young lady. I hope she clocks in. Trinity's trying to tell her. Trinity's trying to help her. I don't know, y'all. I do not know. That's all I have to say about this episode. It's a lot of comments in here. I'm going to try to get to everybody. What do you guys have to say? It's about 350 people in the chat. Please make sure you give me some likes, share the video, hype the video. Your support really helps me grow in the YouTube algorithm. So don't forget about your girl. Piper, thank you so much for the super chat. Piper said, go black people. Yes. Thank you, Piper. Happy Juneteenth. Sweet said, happy Juneteenth. Gabe is gone. I don't think the girls owed more than one explanation. All the guys suck. I want to watch Trend go ham for real. Absolutely. I wish we could just vote for our favorite Islander. I don't want to do a couple. I don't want these girls coupled up with these men. None of these men are worthy of these women. Maybe Kenzie. I don't want it. I don't want it. Can we just vote to give Trinity the money? Anyway, thank you so much, Sweet, for the super chat. Love you. Happy Juneteenth. Zora, thank you so much for the super chat. Zora said, if you were KC, how would you handle Zach and Bryce? So here's the thing. I would be gaming America, right? And how I will be gaming America is I would be in the confessionals talking to Zach and Bryce like I don't know what they're doing or what's going on. And then I would go in my confessionals and I would be like, well, today, America, Bryce and Zach think I'm an idiot. And then I would just go down how I see them playing their game and how I'm going to navigate these two liars trying to take me out of my I would say coupling, because I would absolutely be Justine. I would absolutely be a woman that's there for the check. Especially if I'm 20 freaking 2. Why the hell am I trying to find love? No shade. I'm there for the money. I'm there for the money. I'll let him kiss me and grip me up because it's Love Island. They need a little bit of titillation. Other than that, absolutely. He's not penetrating me. My mama watching. Oh no. But I would absolutely be the Trinity, right? I would be the voice and reason and the fun of the villa while also narrating what is happening in the villa to America, because you also got to game America. And if you want to touch that money, America got to like you. By the end of that season, America would be obsessed with me. Obsessed with me. Because that's the biggest gamer in the villa, America. And you got to know her every move, but you also got to be on her good side. That's exactly what I would do. But unfortunately, Casey cannot see it. He cannot see it. And I think what's even sadder is that this man is literally anointed for leadership, but he doesn't know it. So he lessens his experience in life by being a follower when he is a natural born leader, but he can't see it. It's on him, but he can't see it. He is absolutely going to be that guy that allows the influence in his life to come from men who can't even hold a candle to him. But because he doesn't know who he is and he doesn't know his anointing, he will absolutely fall victim to people who know who he is and will destiny swap with him. And he will literally go through his life watching somebody else live the life that he should have had. And instead of tapping into who he is, he will resent that person and resent the woman that he partner up with in life. And that poor woman who sees who he is will try to build him up, and he will never treat her right because of the bitterness and resentment that is harboring in him, because he allows himself to be destiny swapped and harvested by people. And it's really unfortunate because it shows that there's nobody in his life who can guide him. And that happens to so many people. Like, if you don't, especially as a young person, if you don't have an elder, right? If you don't have somebody with wisdom in your life who can see who you are. I hate to be, not hate to be, but I'm going to get like biblical because I'm a church kid. But every David needs a Samuel. And if you don't have that, if you don't have somebody who sees the vision, who knows who you are, who can impart into you, kind of like a mentor, you will always fall victim to people who want to take from you and will do that. It happens all the time. I'm trying to find an example that isn't biblical. Somebody extremely talented who believe, it's just extremely talented people who believe. Basquiat. Y'all know him? Basquiat, extremely talented artist. He unfortunately didn't know how great he was and fell victim to people who knew how great he was, and they just siphoned him, right? Knew he had an addiction, and instead of helping him, they would feed his addiction by stealing his craft until he eventually succumbed to his addiction. Had he had the right people in his life, people who saw his talent, saw his gift, saw his anointing, and was able to steer him on the right track and not steal from him, but put him, uplift him, and affirm him, my God, today, what the art that we would have gotten from that man's mind. What a loss. That was really dark. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't think it's going to happen to KC, but it's just like, he's a natural born leader. You can see it on him. That's why Bryce and Zach did not, I won't say they don't like him as a person, but that is why they went after him immediately. Because this competition was going to be a cakewalk for him. But he don't know it because he doesn't see who he is. And maybe he will later in life, but right now, he has no idea who he is. Thank you so much for the super chat. I am so sorry to get so dark. Forgive me. Art World, thank you so much for the super chat. Love you. Art World said, the other night I said Melody and Sincere are Brenda and Sunny. Yes, they're General Hospital characters. Absolutely. And their end game, yes. Thank you, Jesse. Jesse said Andre Leon Talley's story was tragic. Yep. Amira said, I'm sorry, Nick. I'm sorry to say this, Nikki, but after watching Casey tonight, I fear he's walking into Casa Amor like he just got released on parole. Casey is going to treat Casa Amor like Freak Nick. Yeah, he's going to be Uncle Luke on steroids. And Zach, and especially Bryce, is going to take everything back. And that boy is done. Learn from this. Learn from this. NC said, hopefully that heads up that Trinity gave Anaya will force her to fully have fun in Casa and not feel guilty. But then again, Anaya is so loyal, so who knows? Yeah, she is so loyal, but also Anaya is just not a fast girl. She has to be comfortable with the guy to be intimate in any kind of way. So, and I absolutely understand that because I'm the same way. Like, I need to know a little something about you. Like, you got to work for these goodies, ciao. And it's not because I'm just like, oh my God, I'm not. I'm not saying like, oh, you know, I'm not the type of woman that'd be like, you know, you got to give me this so you can get that. No, but for me, intimacy is like very special to me. So before I do something like that with somebody, I want to make sure this is somebody that I'm comfortable with. I want to make sure I won't regret allowing you to explore this amazingness. You know what I mean? I just can't do it. I could never be on Love Island. Kissing somebody that I just met, the devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. What's your middle name? My God, today. Yasmin said this was a filler episode for sure. Oh, it was a filler episode because they are going to go ham in Casa. Remember, guys, they're ahead of us. They know what they're giving us. They know that Casa is going to be a nightmare. They already know. Expect to be here really long on Sunday because I know them boys are going to cut up. Oh, it's going to be a mess. E for Empathy said, I want to wish y'all another very happy Juneteenth. This one felt different in a good way. Very ancestral. I felt like the ancestors are pleased. I feel like we're finally, you know, getting in track. And they're like, all right, you did good. You know what I mean? It did feel really, really good. Today was very just light and fun. I kind of got emotional just watching all of the Juneteenth celebrations happening because America is just so sad right now. You know what I mean? And for those of us who remember what it was like to have a Black president, you know, and then watching President Barack Obama dedicate that museum to First Lady, my forever First Lady, Michelle Obama, and just seeing those two talk about each other and then seeing their daughters. And we watched them grow up into these beautiful young women and just remembering what it felt like to have such great leadership and then to see what's happening to America now. Let me tell you something. I'm an extremely proud Black American. I don't want to be nothing else. And I really like America. I like my pocket of America, right? And I like what America could be if the right people were in power. And so it just saddens me what's happening to my nation. And it also saddens me that if it doesn't get better, I might have to like go somewhere else. And it's no shade to anywhere else in the world, but I like it here. I like what my people were able to do here. I like how we push this nation to a much better place. And I hate to see what's happening now to it. So yesterday and today felt really good. And I haven't felt that way in a very, very long time. So it was just really emotional, just seeing everybody just finally having a good time. And especially watching that dedication on yesterday, it was just like, remember when it was good, y'all? Remember when I didn't have to talk about race every day? Remember when we could just exist? Damn. Oh, anyway, SEO said, I like Trinity, but I don't like the thought of her buying into the Bryce connection. Does she see it or no? At this point, I'm just hoping that our girl is playing the game because I'm like, no way. But I feel like she's not buying into it. And I feel like Bryce knows that. That's why he's always saying when your type walks in, because I think he knows that she doesn't like him like that. I think the feeling is mutual. I think she's trying to force it, but I don't know if it's gameplay or if she's doing what a lot of women do, force a connection. Nobody forces a connection better than a woman. I don't know why we do it, but we do. Zora said, I get it that Casey needs to use his discernment, but the way Zach and Bryce press him makes me really uncomfortable. And that's the thing. I'm like, how are you not uncomfortable, Casey? And what's really disappointing about him is that we see with how he sometimes treats Anaya that he knows how to buck up, right? He knows how to speak his mind. But we only see you doing it with a woman that adores you. Ew, I don't like that. I don't like that. One thing about Jen, I hate that she's a part of Kenzie's white. Well, the white girl mom no longer exists now. Soul is gone. But I hate that she's under Kenzie's wing. But I will say she calls the men correctly. She don't sugarcoat nothing for the men at all. Hey, Lavender Girl. Lavender Girl said, can't wait for Casa Amor. The boys were so whiny and irritating me this episode. You know what's so funny about Casa Amor? I feel like all the men are going to go ham. I think Sincere is going to be the only one on their best behavior. And I think that's what's going to make Casa worse. That Sincere is going to be the good guy. Oh Lord. Hey Dania. Dania said, hi, Nikki and Mama Star. Happy Juneteenth. Mama Star is not here today. As you guys know, my family and I, we have been moving for the last few days, and I'm never doing this again. I say it every time. I say it every time. I say it every time. But my God, I always forget about how difficult moving is. And Mama Star is resting today. She did a little too much. And we told her to sit down, but you can't tell them Philly women what to do. Ed said, I just don't see it for Anaya and KC. At first, I thought their story may be similar to Serena and Cordell. Me too. We were all fooled. But now it doesn't look like there's anything holding them together. Well, the thing about it is Cordell liked Serena. And he knew that she was a slow burn because she told him that. Casey knows that Anaya is a slow burn, but he doesn't like that. He doesn't want a slow burn. So stop wasting her time. But also, I don't like how he is saying that he wants to pursue Soul because he thinks that Soul is going to put out. It's like he's not winning me on either side. Because the only reason why you're interested in Soul is because you think that you're going to get some more action with Soul. I feel like Soul is the same way. You didn't see Sincere being able to dig into Soul. He was kissing her and that was it. So I don't like how you want to explore her because you think it's going to be a much expedited experience. Ew. Ew. Destiny's Child, what's up? Destiny's Child said Jen felt Gabe was lusting after her. Girl, please, you enjoy. I'm sorry. She was lusting after Gabe. Every time we saw Jen and Gabe, she's on top. She's playing with the ding-a-ling. She's gobbling on a knob. Every time we see Gabe in bed, and it's Jen rubbing, licking, and sucking on him. It was Jen who pulled her dress up and sat on his ding-a-ling. So please, miss me with that. But you see how they do? You see how they do? You see how they twist that narrative? Child. She was the aggressor. And I'm like, Jen, you don't know that we can see you? I can't wait for this reunion. I can't wait for this reunion. CM said, I heard the villa is near where they filmed Survivor. Oh, they're like a boat trip away, and it's not that far. So some of the Survivor players talk about how they can hear some of the challenges. They can hear like some of the screams on the villa because they're that close. I will say that kind of bothered me that Survivor and Love Island is filming there, because I'm just like, how good is that for the people of Fiji? That these two juggernaut American shows are filming on their island. How good is that for them? Y'all can't find nowhere else? Why y'all keep on choosing Fiji? What y'all doing? Because I feel like y'all probably cheating on people. That's why y'all keep on choosing it. Yasmin said the cast decision to vote off Gabe and Soul did not make any sense. I feel like there was no win for either, for the girls or the guys, because you were going to send somebody home that people liked. You know, you send home Kinsey, right? The audience is not featuring her, but the girls love her. They don't know how she is. They don't know that she's talking about them. They don't know how nasty she is. We know that. That's why we feel that way about her. But they would have been heartbroken had the guys did that. And then, had I feel like if the girls would have sent home Caleb, it would have been the same thing. I don't think it was a lose-lose for everybody. Because the guys would have been like, oh my God, you didn't give Caleb a shot. It wasn't fair. Or he sent home Corbin. Corbin had something with Kinsey. It was a lose-lose for everybody involved. Tay said, excuse me, I know they missed. Hold on, my group chat is blowing up. Gotcha. Tay said, I know they miss eating real food. What are they feeding them? Give me the Love Island diet. I'm trying to be snatched by my birthday. I am the only one who does not like try to get fit for the summer. I'm a winter baby, so the summer and me don't take tea like that. I don't like heat. I don't like heat, and I can't believe it. Right? I'm Zork. I'm black. I was built for the sun. I cannot do it. I think it's because Philly is just so humid in the summer, and I hated that growing up. I hated that growing up. So I just do not like the heat. So when it's hot, when it's summertime, I'm inside. I am inside. I'm always trying to get snatched for the holiday season, which is the worst time to get snatched, but that's when I come alive. I get to wear all of my little sparkle, glitter, rhinestone, bedazzled pieces, and it's normal. And it's my birthday. Let me know what that Love Island diet is. I gotta be looking snatched in December. Hannah said the producers do to disinvolve. The producers need to disinvolve themselves from social media. I agree. Hey, Tama said, Bryce and Zach, it gets to a point where we can just edit it out. It does. And here's the thing. They have this much material. I'm sorry. I could not be in a relationship with a guy like that who's like that with his friend. I'm not like that with my girlfriends. You know what? Maybe though this is the group of people who, like, when they go on those trips, those girls trips or those guy trips, and they all end up like sleeping with each other, but it's like not really, it's just a thing that they do. It's just a thing that they do on vacation. I think that's what this is. I think that's what this is. It's very, because women do that too. It's not all, but there are girl groups who go on vacation, and next thing you know, they're eating each other out. They just start carpet munching. It's just like, oh my God, no, it's just a girls trip. This is what we do. We make out, we carpet munch. Huh? But some of them do that. Just like, oh, okay. I'm not judging. Not my girl group. We don't even cheat. Oh, we don't play that. We don't play. No, You faithful to that man in America, and you gonna be faithful to that man in Italy. Oh, we do not play that. Not my girls' trip. Oh, we don't do that kind of debauchery. We go to museums and nice restaurants. Maybe a lounge or two or one. But that no, no. My girls' trips, absolutely not. Leave that in Miami. Unique said because the guys are loving the girls more than the girl. Well, I feel like that's what's happening now. I think we're in a season of men being in love with other men and hating women until it's time for someone, until it's time for them to breed someone or enslave someone or stick their wee wee in something for sexual pleasure. They don't see women as human or equal. And I think this is the result of red pilled young men, right? Because we talked about this last year when I was reviewing Love Island about how these guys are being raised to love and be in intimate relationships with men and just use women for having children and degrading sex. Like they don't see women as human, and it's getting to a point where they're trying to call it something else, and I forgot what it's called, but it's when they get an effeminate, when they get a guy and they make him effeminate and they kind of like turn him into an animal and they do like sexual things with them as a way to prepare them for how they would be with a woman, right? But they got that from Alexander the Great because he was this great warrior, but he also had young men that he would do, have sexual relationship with, but he wasn't gay. He just, did stuff with young men. That's why they all love the Roman Empire so much. That's what's happening. That's why you got to ask him, do you listen to podcasts at all? I used to ask, what podcasts do you listen to? Now it's, do you listen to podcasts at all? I'm out. No, 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 no. I want you listening to jazz and that's it. That's it. All you do is listen to jazz and watch basketball games. Anything other than that, red flag. It's very strict over here. Zora said, and if you, again, I don't really know that world, but I know enough to do a little research. If you guys know what I'm talking about and you can explain it better, please talk about it in the chat. Zora said, kissing is a skill like everything else. Bryce needs to up his game. Women's pleasure matters too. The thing that's so concerning is that he's 29. How you don't know how to kiss at 29? And then it also concerns me with the women that he's been with, because I'm just like, they've all been lying to you. They've been denying themselves pleasure to appease you. Now you're on a national stage where you have to kiss and all the women hate it. You've been lied to. Mm, 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 mm. Tuas Falai said, the girls did more talking than me. I would have told them what's done and done. What's done is done. If you don't like it, pack your bags and join him. And that's on that. I miss PPG. They would have read them men for filth. One by one. I miss PPG. Naima said, and honestly, I think both decisions were correct. Soul would have been miserable. Yeah, she said, thank you for putting me out of my misery in that villa. And Gabe just don't need to be there. Would I have preferred Kenzie and Corbin? Sure, but IRDC, what that mean? Oof, Lord, y'all gonna make me get a little dictionary. My God, today a little lingo dictionary. While Dream Watching said, "Yay, so ready to talk about this mess. Thank you for being here." Wavy said, "I just want Casey and Anaya to be free of each other." Same. I'm no longer holding space. This is a perfect example of two perfectly fine, even good people who make each other worse by being together. They bring out the worst in each other. I agree. Mess said, "I can't believe I am saying this, but for me, Casey is worse than Sincere. Sincere is doing regular mess in your face two timing. Casey is acting like he's doing Anaya a favor. That is horrible. Yep. And not telling her the truth, but telling these terrible men the truth. And the way they get a kick out of knowing that you don't want to be with her and watching her be with you, disgusting. A Wonderful Life said, "I'm not giving up on Casey yet. There's other real demons in that villa. He's just working through stuff." Well, I love that for you. I'm backing off. I can't. I can't do this anymore with him. Hey, Danny. Danny said, "Whenever there's a question about who the fake is in the house, Casey is always picked." Very true. Because obviously the guys are seeing a different KC than the women are seeing. Um, uh, Sweet said KC is too easy to manipulate and he has little discernment. He isn't transparent and is an easy target. The audience doesn't know what you want, boo, and those white boys are having their way. Clock it. Indigo said KC being this way to Anaya is warranted. It's like he resents her for being the perfect girlfriend he can't justify breaking up with. That's a great perspective. That's a great perspective. Neglectic said, Anaya will talk to Casa men, but she won't explore. Oh, Casa is going to piss me off, I fear. Casey will talk to the Casa women, explore, and possibly bring one back to the villa and blame Anaya for it. Unique said, "I'm glad that Trinity told her what Bryce said, and this also explains why Zach and Bryce be on his A." Yep. Sweet said, "The boys always think that they are smarter than the girls. You don't like their logic, but it doesn't mean their logic doesn't make sense." Yep. Tours for Life said, "I really hope that Anaya gives it to him good in Casa Amor. Like you want to explore, I'll show you some exploring." I hope so. Zora said, "Casey rolled his eyes in tonight's episode when Anaya said that this was her fairy tale and that he was her Prince Charming." It's just like, dude, if you don't like her, leave her alone. Leave her alone. Christia said, "I need Anaya to cut up in Casa. I pray that she explores." See, we all want that. I don't have any hope. I hate that. I hate that. I just don't have any hope. Two is for Life said KC is a less egregious version of Sincere. Yep. Says one thing to the guys in his confessionals and something totally different to Anaya. I'm sick of it. Stop lying and be real with her. I agree. I agree. MC said, "Seems like Couple Island thinks if they stay with their couple, they'll win. And for a rude awakening." Yep. Yep. Miss Naruto said, "I finally caught alive." You sure did. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Ed said, "I don't want to think it's pandering too." Yeah, I don't. I don't. Lavender Girl said, "Agree, Nikki. It's so gaslighty and makes Anaya look crazy. I don't like it." Yep. Yep. Hey, Divine. Divine said, "We need more black men to choose from on the island, and Corbin doesn't count." We need older guys too. We need more black men, but we also need older guys on the show. These girls are not going to go for a 22-year-old. Like, girls at 22 do not like guys who are 22 because they're just weird. And I'm not saying they want like a 30-year-old, but it's like Sean would have cooked in that villa if he wasn't a cop and if he wasn't a dad. That's the only reason why he's not there. Cameron said the whole entire phenomenal black woman speech that KC gave to Anaya was all manipulation. He did that to get her around his finger, and it worked, unfortunately. Dadia says KC talked out the side of his face. That speech was BS. He has disappointed me. Same. Hannah said, "People aren't listening to what Soul is saying. She keeps saying she couldn't explore because it's couples island, not because of any specific woman." It's very weird how not all, but some people in this fan base blame the women for everything that the guys are doing. The guys pie Soul. I don't know how the guys pieing Soul that all of those times meant that the women are bullying her. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? No, Melanie didn't convince those guys to pie Soul. Those guys don't even like the girls they're coupled up with. They're dickheads. I apologize. Sorry. It's just who they are. They're not good guys. They're mean. Like Zach pies her. So after getting another pie was just like really upset. And Zach's like, what? I was just doing a challenge. You didn't even go check on the freaking girl. They are mean. They don't like women. That's why I'm like, we need lover boys. That's why we went up for Nicolandria, because Nick is a lover boy. We loved how he loved her, even when they were just friends. We love how he fought for her. We love how he protected her, even when they were just friends. We loved how he loved her when their love was platonic, because he's a lover boy. We need lover boys. Love Island casting. Lover boys. Thank you for the muscles. Now give us lover boys. CJ said, Casa's on Sunday and we're not excited, unlike other seasons. I'm not excited at all. I'm like, my stomach is in knots just thinking about it. I feel like it's going to be very cringe. I feel like we're going to see even the worst of Casey. It's just gonna, I'm not excited for how the women are going to feel after Casa, because I feel like the women this season have just been brutalized. And I'm just like, I want them to be happy. I want them to be with guys that want to be with them. I don't want Anaya to be with a guy that rolls his eyes every time he talks about her to the guys, or is rolling his eyes in secret to the camera. I don't want Kata to be with a guy that constantly talks about being with somebody, some imaginary bombshell that has never came to the villa. I don't want Trinity to be with a white guy that constantly spews macro aggressions to her. I want them to be happy. I don't want Melanie to be with a guy that talks out of both sides of his mouth. This is so sad. Cameron said, Baby Soul read the entire cast so gracefully. She sure did. And they didn't even realize it. And I noticed Kinsey, the Karen, giving her the stank face when she was giving her parting speech. Yep. Because she never saw that girl as a friend. Never saw that girl as a friend. Just needed her for her anti-Melanie army. The Lux Explorer said, Nikki, did you peep Zach staring at... Yes, when he was staring at Bryce while kissing the feet of the girl. It's weird. It's weird. It's so weird. Jennifer said, this is such an unlikable group of men. It's making it really difficult to watch. I will agree. The Lux Explorer said, I hope producers play those background videos of the girls for the girls who explore, because I don't trust them. They're acting married. Yep. Zora said, please do, especially Anaya. She needs to do her big one, hoping she has options. Same, but I'm not sure if she's going to explore guys, and I wish she would. BY said, these men seem red pilled. Absolutely. They are bullies and angry at women because the women are not male attended. BC Nick said, Kinsey somehow managed to come across even more unlikable after this episode. The more we get to see her, the less interesting she becomes. Chu said, it feels like being gay is the joke. Thank you for explaining that perfectly, especially when production is also discouraging same gender couples. It's pissing me off now because being gay isn't funny. That's exactly how it's starting to feel, which is why y'all should have never got in on the conversation. The production should have never gotten in on the conversation, because you're hinting to it, you're teasing to it, you're showing us this, but you would never have a same-sex couple on your show. So why are you playing with us? You should not have gotten in on the conversation. Mind your business. Let the audience talk about it. Simone said, nobody in Kennesaw be talking like that. Kinsey is cosplaying Lynn White's half-sister or girlfriend. It's so weird. Why America be doing us like that? She just puts B in the weirdest places. And I'm like, is that how Black people sound to you? I'm disgusted. Wait a minute, I just saw something. um, oh God, I can't find it. Um, Lilo said, "Does Zach have a phone or something? It's too obvious what his game is." I don't think he has a phone, but I think production is feeding these people lines. They absolutely are. UNCC said, "Yeah, KC ain't touching that money. Nope. That's the type of guy he is. He is not touching it." Megan said, "Oh, this is absolutely KC. LOL. I've been side eyeing him for a minute. Yeah, yep. You know what? Buttered biscuits. Didn't Butter Biscuits call it? We were all hyping Casey up, and Butter Biscuits was just like, oh, I went to school with him. He's a menace. Do not be fooled. Butter Biscuits called it. Liz said, I've heard someone say that Casey was a hotep, and I saw that video too. And I was just like, points were made. Points were made. Points were made. BC Nick said, I hope producers realize nobody wants to watch Bryce and Zach, whatever this is. Just stop showing it. I agree. A Wonderful Life said, until I know who Casey voted for, Caleb voted for, I can't see it for him. True. You know, we're suspending our belief to watch him. Devonta said, Casey is acting like Caleb from season 2 with those I love black women t-shirts. Yep. But butter biscuits, you were right. Amira said, Kata needs to wake up. I think our homegirl is in love. We need New Hampshire King. Kata, what's happening? Yeah. Poor thing. But it just shows how much women just yearn to be loved by men. It's so sad. Yasmin said, Caleb is a good boy now. But I have my good eye on him. The cast pushed him on Kinsey, so we really don't know what he likes. Very true. Hey, Simone said, I know good and well Kinsey ain't really from Kennesaw. She's most likely from North Georgia, went to KSU, stayed because the student apartment rent is cheap, and claimed Kennesaw after a year. I think so too. I think you're right, Simone. Chu said, I like seeing Kata and Caleb's talk, but the way Kata talked about Zach at the end made it feel like she's only talking to him to make Zach jealous. I would have to agree, unfortunately. Amira said, I pray that they have a movie night and show Kata a whole movie, a whole film that's a Zacatech statement. Hey, producers, because I know they for sure be lurking in your lives. Ciao. Take some notes, production. CM said, Caleb said his first morning he was going to make a night break. Oh, he did. He did. Sweet said, Casey kind of lost me. I don't think he's all bad, but I don't like how he is moving. I would happen to agree. Zora said, right, because there is no reason for him to constantly mention her complexion, especially when she said it's not something she, like, I'm just like, why is everybody talking about her like that? And then I'm just like, as like a dark-skinned black woman, I kind of feel some sort of way, like, please don't think this is like excuse me. Oh no, this is not like a common occurrence. What's going on? What is going on? Amirio said, I know it's Juneteenth, but Caleb is, I didn't want to say it. But right now, he is. Hey, Heather. Heather said, Love Island talked about bullying and more, and then they showed Zach and Bryce. They are inviting the bullying. Absolutely. UNCC said, is it our good friend who went up for Ola and Shelly, the Haitian from New York, LOL, because he be clocking those people on TikTok? No, it wasn't him. But I follow him too. He don't play. Sac passe. Lalo said, yes, he's the only one we have seen ask questions and try to see the girls for who they are, other than just their looks. Yep. Hey, Amira said, I hope also the producers follow the UK template. Me and my sister were talking about that. So here's the thing. I know some of you wanted my sister, Lauren Starr, to review Love Island with me. She will, but she's only going to do UK. Here is why. She said, I can talk about them people in another country. I'm not going to be able to talk about them people here. We have jobs. I'm the only one who could talk reckless, and my mom. My other sisters, nah. They can only do but so much. So she's going to review Love Island UK with me when I catch up this weekend. But Amira said, I hope also producers follow the UK template. And I said that about my sister because she agrees. She wants Love Island USA to follow Love Island UK because sometimes they do let them leave and they do press and they bring them back and also break the fourth wall, causing chaos and doubt. And my sister said the same thing. She wants them to do that. Amira also said Zach is not smart at all. He is definitely showing his cards soon, but thank the Lord. I hope um they ace it a and LMAO smack him with the public what the public really thinks and break his bubble. I will say this, that comment just reminded me of when Ace realized America didn't like him. I felt so bad. Oh, y'all took the wind out of his sails. Now I don't like Zach, but I don't want to do that to another person. Ace was so depressed after that. I don't want to do that to somebody's mental health. But Zach, he needs maybe a little, do better. But I don't want to. I don't want to take the wind out of his sails. NC said KC's slip has been showing. Does he really feel the audience doesn't see all the slick comments he's making? I don't think these kids know they're being watched. I don't think they know what Love Island is. I am confused. The way they are moving, you would think that they're not being filmed. Why does he think we're going to want him with Anaya or even vote him in the end? I don't know why. I do not know why. He is just all over the place. Laylo said, I found Casey's conversation was so unnecessary. Soul looked to be over it too. He kept trying to get her attention without just coming out and saying he was interested. He wanted her to take the lead. Here's the thing. Oh, and I hope we get this at the reunion. Soul, please. Soul knows what Casey is trying to do. So Casey wanted Soul to pursue him so that he can be like, oh, it's not me, it's her. Like what Sincere is doing. And I think that Soul picked up on that. And I think she didn't play into that. And even with this little fake coming, oh, I'm so sorry that you're going. Soul wasn't even interested in that because she was just like, if you were so sorry, you would have kept me. You know what I mean? So she's not playing with that game. Like he was trying to do all that. And she was just like, mm-mm. She sees him. I feel like our girl is I feel like she's going to get the people together at the reunion. Cameron said, that's why the men in the house can't stand Anaya because Anaya has touched real diamonds. And I'm also starting to believe that Trinity is also a Black American princess too. I would not be surprised. Trinity's the baby of her family. She said that everybody is older. I would not be surprised if she also got the princess treatment. But I think that Trinity got a different, she's a bat, but she's a different kind of bat. You know what I mean? She's a bat that probably, know how to scrap. There's levels to this batness. So I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. And I think that's the thing with when the men in that villa come into contact with men like Anaya, with women like Anaya and Trinity. You can't cheat these women because just because they are Black women and dark-skinned Black women, you think that they will be comfortable with less. You think that they will be so honored that you're approaching them, but you don't realize that these dark-skinned Black women, they don't have that experience that you think that they've had. They don't live that life. Trinity is very chosen. Anaya, very chosen. Pampered princesses. And they're used to men treating them like that. So that's why these men are probably having such a hard time with them because they are expecting them to be so thankful that these men are approaching them. And these women are just like, oh, this is my day-to-day life. I'm absolutely not chasing you because I don't have to do that. The men where I'm from, the men pursue me. So I don't know what this is. I'm very confused why you think I'm coming over there. And I think that's probably the confusion with them. It's just like, wait a minute. You should be thankful. And they're like, what? This is a regular Tuesday for me. What are you talking about? But that's the thing. It's just like, y'all, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm just saying like a lot of people, you gotta travel. You gotta put the TV down, put the phone down, and get into the real world because uh, that internet got you thinking the world look very different than what it really is. Simone said Anaya's dad went into finance after leaving the NBA, and her mother works in accounting. That family is very well off, and Anaya is well taken care of. Feet never touch the ground. Feet never touch the ground, and I love that for her. Art World said, "Happy Juneteenth." Thank you. Happy Juneteenth to you as well. I haven't watched the episode, but they've been so average. I'll watch tomorrow. Yeah, this was definitely filler. Sweet said, "Honestly, this whole episode was kind of weird. It felt that almost the whole episode, the cast was breaking the fourth wall and painting a narrative for us inside and outside the confessionals." Yeah, I agree with that, but I also think that that's just because they've lost their guidance. And it's like different people now trying to build the narrative that was already being built for these couples. Whew, I don't know when they're going to be able to get back on track, but losing an EP is hard. Hard. And this one died. What there have been shows when EPs have gotten fired and their vision leaves with them. And everybody's like, what's going on with the show? The vision left. This person passed away, never to return. Vision gone, traumatizing the crew. My God, today. So I don't know if this season will ever get back on track because that's a really big deal, y'all. Chrissy has said Bryce knows he's nothing without Trinity. True that. He's gonna ride her coattail to the end. Absolutely. Lolo said a lot of us have been clocking KC this entire time, but we've been accused by many of not supporting Black love. Anaya is not crazy. She has been feeling his energy and it's been off. Yep. SEO said KC is making himself look bad. So bad. We can see Zach and Bryson before KC starts flip-flopping. We wanted them out of the villa. Yep. WNC said, thank you, Nikki. It is fake empathy. Those conversations don't happen in Black spaces. It never crosses Black people's mind who grow up in all Black spaces. Yes. Like, listen, colorism absolutely exists. But guys, for a lot of dark-skinned Black women, we have a ball. I don't. But again, my environment is very Black. I don't know how I would be in this world right now if I grew up in a place where nobody looked like me and I was the only one. My God, today. Unique said, yeah, I thought that combo was a bit much for Trinity to be talking about with Bryce because who said she was insecure about her skin tone or her issues dating? They are making up these stories for this girl. I'm just like, are we missing something, Love Island? Because I never saw Anaya saying, oh, thank you, KC, for seeing me because I'm dark and nobody loves me. I'm not seeing that. But why is everybody just assuming this about this woman? Amira said Bryce knows what he's doing. He first put doubt in Trinity's head about KC's comment, then bam, added fuel to the whole KC and Soul thing, pushing the knife in. I see right through his mental gymnastics. True. I need KC to clock it. Khalil said women are more likely to settle than men. Facts. No one is ever finding their perfect match. It's an illusion. The KCs use the Anayas to come up, money, intelligent, and networks, then they upgrade. Yep. Doing that good woman like she's a starter wife. To Us for Life said, I love Trinity, but if she stays with Bryce, she won't be touching that money. Sorry, mamas. Oh, we got to get her a bombshell. Christy said, I've never been told I'm pretty for a dark-skinned girl or big girl. I was just told I'm pretty. Well, see, the first time I got told that I was pretty, first time lying. The only time I got told that I was pretty for a dark-skinned girl was like my third or fourth year living in LA. And it was the weirdest thing I never it's like an out-of-body experience when something like that happens. My sister and I were so excited to go to the Magic Johnson movie theater because, not being from LA, the Magic Johnson movie theater is a big deal, right? I don't know if it still exists, but it's, of course, it was a big deal in LA, but it was like an even bigger deal for like black people outside of LA because like a black American man owns a movie theater that's named after him. It was like a big deal, right? So we really wanted to go. And we finally were able to find the time to go to Inglewood, and we went there. And this guy, he was like maybe two shades lighter than me. He is like staring at me the whole time. And no shade, I'm a pretty girl, right? So I'm like, oh God, he's going to try to talk to me. Because it's such a, a daily occurrence. I don't be feeling like it all the time. And I was like, oh God, here he comes. And he starts walking over me, and I'm like, and he gets halfway to me. He goes, are you from around here? And I was like, no, I'm not. And he was like, oh, I could tell. And I'm like, why you say that? And he was like, because we don't have no dark girls like you around here. And my sister, she does not play that. She was like, excuse me? What you mean? Like, got up in his face. Mind you, we are not from here. So I said, Latoya, okay, calm down. And he was like, oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. She's beautiful. But we just don't have a lot of dark-skinned people here in LA. I was in freaking Inglewood. What are you talking about? But that was the first time that ever happened to me. And, I'm just being honest with you. I'm from Philly. I can be confrontational. But I didn't do anything because I had an out of body experience. I could not believe that a black person said that to me. It was just so like crazy. Like, what do you mean? You don't have dark skinned black people in Inglewood? And again, I'm not from there. So what we know about Inglewood is that that's like the black Hollywood Mecca. That's what you think. And so I just could not believe that that was said to me by a black person. It was such, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that man's face. It was like such an out of body experience. And his wife started apologizing because they saw my face, and my sister was like going off, but I could hear her, but I couldn't really hear her. And they were just like, oh no, it's not like that. It's just out here. It's like this. And I don't believe that about, Inglewood. And I just feel like that was just like his interpretation. And I don't think that that is the interpretation of how everybody in Inglewood thinks. But it was like such an out of body experience to like just have a black person say that to me. I just would have never thought that a black person would say that to me. But here's the reason why I didn't think that: because of the city that I grew up in and the neighborhood that I grew up in. Everybody looked like me. Like everybody, had my skin tone or was darker. You know what I mean? So it was just like normal to see people who look like me. So maybe it wasn't normal for him to see people who look like me, but I just could not believe it. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then said, oh no, but she's pretty. She's pretty for a dark girl. Another thing that like hit me. What do you mean I'm pretty for a dark girl? That means that to you, dark skin is not attractive. Not my experience. I'm used to like being enamored for my skin being dark. I used to love the summertime because that's what the dark skinned black girls was eating, especially back in the day when we was getting when Victoria's Secret had that glitter lotion. Girl, I used to all over me. Oh, the boys would go crazy over my glittered skin. That was like my thing. And to come to a place where it's like, what you mean? It was such a culture shock. I could not believe it. But that was like my first experience with that. And my only. I've never had another experience like that before in LA. But when people do say stuff about like dating in LA as like a dark-skinned black woman, although dating for me has been fine. I'm not going to deny that experience because there is something out here. There is something out here where I know that's true. Because if somebody can say that to me in Inglewood, crazy. But the juxtaposition of that was like so mind boggling is that I lived in Studio City at that time. I was so excited to go to like a black city, predominantly black city, and get around black people, to have a black man look at me and tell me that they don't have dark skinned black people in that city, but I'm pretty for a dark skinned person, to then go back to the neighborhood where I live and it's like consistently being pursued by white men. What the hell is that? Why what is that? You got white men telling you that you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, the best thing about you is your skin tone. You got a black man in a predominantly black city saying, we don't have people who are that dark like you here, but you're still pretty though. Hell, Black America. Hell. But that only happened to me once, but once was enough. I never forgot that. I never forgot that. My God, today. And the fact that he wasn't like even on my looks level. Crazy. It's always that person. It ain't never a fine person who try to do that nonsense. It's always somebody that looked like they snuck on earth onto this earth. Always somebody who look a botched abortion talking to me, child. Art World said people assume Anaya is insecure because of how they see darker skinned women. Clock it. Just like Soul is receiving so much sympathy for getting play. However, Melody is perceived a bird. Soul saw he dropped Melanie. That whole dynamic is so weird to me. That whole dynamic is so weird to me. I just cannot believe the treatment that Melanie is getting. Crazy. BY said Bryce and Zach want to protect their racist attitude towards Trinity and Anaya, but no one is defending them. But you can't call them racist. If not racist, why racist shaped? SEO said, I think Trinity is making sure Anaya is fully informed, and as a friend, she should. Oh, she's a girl's girl. I love Trinity. She's a breath of fresh air in that villa. I wish there were more women in that villa like her, because I feel like I feel like she's shrinking because she's the only one. And I hate that. Reg said, I think Trin brought it up because she's thinking about it. She did bring it up to Bryce about herself. And I think she's just a good friend and she's looking out for her girl. And the way Casey talks about her skin color, I wouldn't be surprised if she feels that because he keeps on talking about it. Zora says she even said she didn't have an issue with it when Casey brought it up. She seemed uncomfortable in that first combo with Casey because Casey is just not being honest. And that's what it is. Lewis said, let's be honest, Trinity talks too much and it's going to hurt Anaya a lot because no. Huh? You lost me at the B word. You better watch them B words. You better watch them B words, especially when we talk about Trinity. And we don't talk about women like that, especially black women. Hey, Mama Star. Yeah, I'm still online, but I'm about to wrap it up. What's up? Yes, I have it here. Oh, I'm sorry. It was in a car. All right. Love you. Bye bye. Devonda said, I think Louis are. Oh, okay. Um, get on it. Get on it, moderators. Because I said, oh, B. We don't talk about women like that here. Absolutely not. UNC said, right, it started from KC. Although people made a huge deal about her standing behind Sincere's door from episode 1. I thought that was so crazy. I'm just like, y'all are projecting colorism on this girl because she stood behind Sincere's door. Did you see that hair? At that age, you go crazy for a man with hang time. I remember I had the biggest crush on light skinned Chris, and I had a crush on him because from Criss Cross. Y'all remember when they did that Tonight's the Night video? Tonight is the night. And he had them braids to the back, and all the braids went all the way to the middle of his back. Oh, I thought that was so hot. When you are young like that, a guy with long hair is the cutest thing. And I feel like you revert back to that because now I'm starting to love like guys with long hair again. What is happening? I love a little hang time. Not a sincere kind of hang time. Like, I like black men's hair when they like have braids and they take the braids out. And you know, they got that little hang time right before they wash it. Love a black man from infinity to infinity. Child, that's my thing. Irene said the boys constantly mentioning why they are the strongest couple is so odd. That explains why they're so locked in. The guys are playing the game, but they're competing against each other, but not considering the women that they're in relationships with. It's so weird. It's so weird. WNC said, Nikki, let me tap in. I can break it down. For those of us who grew up in black cities during the 90s, this whole insecurity bit is not a reality. People who don't grow up in black spaces do this. Absolutely. Because even with older black people, I remember hearing about the paper bag test black people. And it was like a really bad thing, like a negative thing. Like they weren't good people. So it was like a bad thing to be like a paper bag test black. Now, oh my God, y'all call them the preference. It's crazy. It's crazy. SEO said, right, even when Casey was giving that speech, she kind of shook her head like, oh, that's no issue. But she stopped because he kept insisting that she's dark skinned and it's okay because he thinks she's beautiful. Here's the thing. My man would absolutely like that about me. Like I feel like my skin is a really great feature, right? But I was always told that. I was always told that my skin was so beautiful. So I never like had an insecurity there, and I really want a man who loves that about me. But I don't want him to make me uncomfortable. Like I would, you know, it's your fine chocolate. You know, every now and again you could do a little bit of that, but every time, like, is there anything else that you like about me? Thank you. Thank you for loving my brown skin up against your brown skin. I can tell what yours begin and I can't tell what mine's in. I love that. I think that is so beautiful. But we're in a Chili's. Why are you telling me that you love my dark skin and I'm trying to order a 2 for $20? It's weird. It gets to a point. It gets to a point. And then I'm questioning why you talking to me like that, because do you think that I got low self-esteem? Now I'm mad at you. Now I feel offended, right? Because you think I got low self-esteem because I'm dark skinned. Wait a minute. Who told you that? Who said that? Now I'm feeling some sort of way. Like, please don't play with me. Do not play with me. It never gave ugly. It never gave insecure. It never gave low racial self-esteem. Not over here. Not over here. I told y'all I had to check that white boy in Georgia who was trying to come at me heavy. It was like not accepting my rejection. And I'm just like, I don't know what y'all telling them white boys about black women, especially dark-skinned ones, that they can pursue me heavy because I'm not wanted in my community. But no means no. He was real persistent. Like I was going to eventually break and say yes. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Why are you over here? Why are you over here so easy? What chit chatter are you hearing about dark skinned black women? See, something going on, and I don't like it. Something is going. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. Oh, I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. I'm going to get the dark skinned Avengers together, and we're going to get to the bottom of it because I don't know what's happening here, but it never gave Insecure. Are you kidding me? I'm God's best work. He created me and said, "I am pleased." Don't let me when I get rid of it ain't safe. It ain't safe for any man. When I get but child, even with it, they love having something to grab. Naima said, I hope Anaya keeps this in mind for Casa. Please, Miss Mama, don't blow up on KC. Show out in Casa. I hope so too. I hope so too. Khalil also said they're all gaming, but America is not following toxicity. And no one is sponsoring, supporting it either. 100K and the follower count doesn't always convert to money. You are right. Devonda says, Sincere going to be like Ace and Casa talking about he wants his Shelly, and Sincere will be the same way. Watch it play out. You think so? We'll see. Chu said, it's the straightest people that act the gayest. I've lived and learned. So weird. So weird. Gibby Shelton said, don't forget that bottling Fiji water actually relegated the natives to polluted water sources. Western nations have gone to these people's island and brought up their natural resources for consumption. Yeah, that concerns me that two juggernaut American shows are filming there. Um, Betty said production's always casting mid-looking Casa boys, except season 7 had a tall and decent fake face card. So OG girls remain loyal to OG guys, while OG guys get models, Instagram baddies to cheat with equals maximize tears and drama. You're right about it. Zora said, "No, your words were super helpful. I've seen this dynamic between KC, Zach, and Bryce happen a lot in my life, and your words gave me a perspective. I've come across destiny swappers. It's scary." Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm glad that I can help in some sort of way, but it happens a lot. Like the best way to for if you are just like if you don't know that you are anointed and gifted and um crafted for this time to do something great, and if you don't know that you're being destiny swapped, here's a great way to figure it out. You could be anywhere, existing, minding your business. Somebody somewhere, no matter the race, age, gender, or location, would find an issue with you. If you're always like, "Well, I'm not bothering nobody," like what is going on? Like, why do people keep on having an issue with me? I'm not saying anything. I barely leave my house. I'm not doing nothing, but I go outside and somebody is trying to pick at me or have an issue with me. Baby, it's on you. It's on you and it's in you. And you got to clock in who the hell you are. That is a clear sign that you are it. Clock in. Clock in. Devonta said Gabe vote was a chess move. It caused drama, not the manufactured kind. Sure did. CM said also that's what Christmas and Valentine's Day is based around. Older, wealthier men giving their young boy toys. Girl. Megan says Serena would have gotten that party started for real because who do you think y'all? Oh, she would have cussed them boys out. And PPG would have been standing behind her like, what? Say something. Child, I miss them. Betty said, I miss PPG and Liv. The Australian Queen did not play that. Maybe Trinity and Orcada, aka New Hampshire Grim Reaper, will be the Liv this season. Hopefully, I need them to wake it up. Deborah said, Soul might have done better as an original cast member. Thank you for bringing that up. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. I wish that they would have just brought her in when they pulled that racist out and just replaced Soul with her. She doesn't want to act like a bombshell. She wants to be pursued. Yeah. Yeah. Honey said, I'm white and absolutely this show has too many racists. It's beyond gross. um, I think it's also they're bringing in people who are from a specific bubble. And that's just what these shows are going to be. You're going to get people coming from different worlds and meshing them together. They're not necessarily going to vibe, and you're going to see things of people that you don't like. The problem is, unfortunately, they're going to have people who agree with them, and they will not know that they're in any kind of way in error. Donnie has said, check out Anaya's jewelry and clothing. I design clothes. Anaya's parents have the coin. I check her out every day. My granddaughter called it out. They have a bag. Yeah, that family is very well taken care of. The mother don't play. The mother does not play about her baby. She said, just to let you know, she ain't insecure and she ain't never wanted for nothing. Kathy said, this dark skin combo has never been my experience in life. Alandria said the same thing in her blind date interview that dropped today. Men don't like dark skinned women. But again, she's from Alabama. You know? So that's probably a different experience there. Um, I'm like, what are y'all talking about? What is going on? Never been. And again, I'm not just like, gassing myself up. I do. You have to. But it's just like, I I get so much. I gotta take a break. Like y'all don't. I feel like this was like every woman's experience. It's just like I feel like every woman leaves her house and she's constantly batting away dingling. I'm like, men are so easy. What do you mean you can't get a guy because you're dark skinned? Men? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? I can't even go to IKEA without batting away the dingling. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm just over here trying to get a hamper shaped like a triangle. Put the penis away. Like this should be every woman's experience. There's no way that you are getting denied by men because you're dark. I don't think you're lying, sister. I think you're not catching on to the fact that that man knows that you're out of his league and he's using what he think will work against you to make you bend and break to his will. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. That's why a lot of y'all couldn't see Sincere for who he was. Because you just loved the fact that you could tune in every day and look at that light skin with that good hair. Look at him now. A mess. A mess. Nicole said, I don't think men realize people are voting to keep the women. Yep, that they like on the show, not for their couples. They don't get it. They do not get it at all. Devonda said, Alandria is in the deep south and the colorist men are rampant. They are acting like the oppressor. That's why she was like very apprehensive with Nick. I get it. Devonda said Gen Z and people, mostly streamers, oh yeah, would be on YouTube channel asking if they're attracted to black women. Those street interviews on high school students who grew up in, yes, it's the red pill era. That's what it is. It's the red pill era. BY said it's racist colored statement, Nikki. They are gaslighting you. Thank you. Thank your sister. Thank God your sister was there. Oh, absolutely. I had just never heard it. Now I know, right? Because now I hear it all the time from like women talking about that experience, but that had never happened to me before. And I'm like, oh, this was really weird. Hannah said, Nikki, your personality is attractive and vibrant. So I understand why you attract so many men. People too. Thank you. But attractive men is not a flex, child. Lord. Devonta said, yep, a microaggression and a backhanded compliment. Oh, sure is. Honey said, yeah, Nikki, you are gorgeous. Thank you. And frankly, if I moved into a town with no dark skinned black people, I'd be scared. Oh, I'm never doing that. But you know what? Situations like that I talked about that happened to me in Inglewood made me very hyper aware that if I were to ever um, bless this Milky Way with my crotch fruit, I am absolutely raising that child in a space where they can see themselves and in a space where people who look like them are affirmed. My God, today. My God, today. Um, you heard me, Megan. You heard me. BY said they see women for one thing only so they can support them and flaunt over them. Yep. Unique said Anaya's mom is a luxury shoe designer. Um, she's definitely been best dressed. Did y'all see her in Jordan Wood's dress? Yep. Jordan says she'd do a collab with her. I saw that too. I feel like Anaya's going to do very well. I feel like Anaya and Trinity and Kata are going to do very well when they come out the villa. I'm a little concerned for Melanie. For some reason, there is just a section of the fan base that does not like her. I hope that she gets embraced. I really love the core four, or the Brats Pack is what they call them. I'm rooting for those girls. Amira said, oh yeah, I got that about Jordan Woods. Lavender Girl said, every time I look at Sincere, I see Rue from Euphoria. Yes. Yes. So Steph said, I live in Seattle. I'm not fighting off any men. It's too white, but I do have a man, a good one. Period. Clock it. One is all you need. That's enough. That's enough. Anyway, Star Fam, I have got to get out of here before the Star family calls me anymore. I gotta I'm dreading it. Put my stuff together. Every time I move, I forget how much I hate it. But I will say this, the one thing that I do like about moving is that I get to see all my decorations. When I was like packing up and like organizing my Christmas decor for my garage, I got so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. I was like, oh my God, I have so much cute stuff. I can't wait. So, that's the only good side of it. But I got to put this place together. I do not want to spend my weekend doing this. So I want to take it day by day. But we will see. And I will see you on Sunday. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your Juneteenth weekend. And we will commemorate this celebration this Sunday for Casa Amor. I'm nervous, y'all. I'm nervous. Oh, Dania, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to do a Black Woman News, and we're going to talk about that interview, and we're going to talk about a couple of other covers that some sisters have been killing most recently. I love what she's doing in Africa. I love that that video of those beautiful children painting her dress. That's what you do with your influence. I love that we made the right person famous. I'm so proud of us. See y'all Sunday. Love you all. Be safe. Love one another. Have a good time. And again, I always like to say this because it really is true. I thank you all so much for stopping by my channel. So many people you could choose from, and you chose me. Makes me feel really special. I absolutely mean it. I don't take that for granted. So thank you all so much for blessing me with your presence, and I will see you all on Sunday. Love you. Sunday night for Casa. My God, today.